So Vesna's going to do her presentation of the assessment number 2, subject 1578, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so...
Can you hear me well? Because I listened to the last time I was on YouTube and I really sounded quite poor.
Really? No, I can hear you well.
Okay.
It should be all right. I'm recording at the moment. It should be all right. I'm just going to find your assessment submission quickly. Did I tell you I was very impressed?
Well, you just said excellent work, and that's really just sums that up from you. So
Yeah.
I kind of thought, yeah, it must be good because there was no comments. It was just
I was really impressed. No, excellent job. Excellent. I think I even sent it to our national director as an example.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh.
Yes, I think I did, just to show, yeah, the quality of work, because simply because we just started with those units, and those first assessments you guys put in are actually the first ever for those subjects.
Yep.
So for us, it's important to see the benchmark and see what we can do and how students can perform with those assessments. So we're kind of testing it, and yeah, so it's a good idea to collect the best examples. And from time to time, I send it to the national director to show the quality of work.
Oh my God, all right, no pressure here, all right.
So, okay, so now I'm going to share the screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, now I can, yes.
Excellent. So are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's do it. So page number 2, yep.
Okay, this is, well, I'm going back to Sunbury. Sunbury is a small little area, about 36 kilometres outside of the CBD. And it's got a beautiful green wedge between probably the last suburb, which is Hillside at the moment, to Sunbury, which basically there's no development between, say, Hillside to Sunbury. There's no developments. We just got a big green thing around us, but we are the very last suburb of Melbourne. So what we have is a very, we actually like a little tiny village, but we're actually part of Melbourne. So it's very home and family orientated, but at the same time, you know, home and family means anything from teenagers to little kids to kids moving out of home. So we've got a mixture. With everything goes. So I've tried to, with my design, not just concentrate on one particular thing, because somebody won't work just for renters or family, or basically something that is going to be robust. Somebody's going to work for multiple areas, for people like to buy, to rent, to lease, anything at all. I wanted something that is timeless and classical, but at the same time, something that is going to stand test of time as well, as they say. So we're not going with something cheap, but we're not going with something extremely expensive.
Yep.
This means working with the materials, the contractors, the people outside, to amalgamate that middle range, but it's probably a higher middle range rather than just a lower middle range. So it will suit and it will draw in both buyers and renters.
Excellent. So continue. All
right. So this is, I actually completely kind of misunderstood this question. I actually used my own kitchen to discuss the elements of design. You know,
that's fine. You can do that. Yes, that's fine. Not a problem. Yeah.
It's only because at the time when I was doing this question, my kitchen was finished, so I reflected it back, and I talked about the colours, and I talked about the shape and the form, and I talked about the textures and lights, which are the 3 elements of design. And what I've tried to do is create an extremely interesting and kind of busy but quite clean area, because to me, kitchen is like a church. It's where everybody meets.
That's right.
You know, morning, noon, night, whenever people are around, this is where we sit at the bench, this is where we make our coffee, this is where we wake up to, this is where we go to bed from. To me, kitchen is probably one of the most important rooms in the house. So even though the rest of the areas are a little bit bland maybe and open to light and this and that, I wanted to make this a feature. I wanted this to stand out, and I wanted people to actually look forward to going to this place, meeting at this place, and I wanted a lot of bench space around. So I took that little table, the little four chair, which people can put, even a two little cedar chair on the side of the curved section for like a meal section. But I wanted something that was modern, beautiful, classical, and at the same time, homey, cozy, not too sterile, not too black and white, not too
Yeah.
whatever. So I did stray away from that black and white, which I had in my mind at the moment. So my actual design changed a lot while I was designing.
So you provided 15 images which act as a reference material for the design drawings. So what are those images?
All right, so I've got some tiles and pebble tiles that I was thinking in my head at the same time, but at the same time I reflected how you use these images. These two particular tiles, or whatever you want, they would be really well used or portrayed as a charcoal because they are very bland and quick and, you know, quick black and white. Just to superimpose the black and the white against each other, and you get the shades anywhere between.
Yep.
Pumpkin little drawing is actually my own.
Oh, really? It looks good.
It's my own charcoal that I did a few years back when I had time to go to one of those, you know, art classes, you know, after work, just to do things. So this is charcoal is an amazing way to express black and white, clean lines, and something very, very quick, just to superimpose things.
And then you have plan for drawings for your design. So you here use oil as a
And once again, it's one of my works as well. It's one of the works that was in my last exhibition in January, and it's an oil. In here, I'm actually, it just worked perfectly with this subject as well, because this is what I was expressing. I was expressing the mood, I was expressing the style, and I was expressing the superficiality of things and how things can superimpose each other. So I thought, you know what, I was using the dark mahogany timber, I was using the creams and the whites, and then I was chucking in the pinks and the yellows just to off balance it. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to show a clean So yeah, dramatic. Oils are very good for dramatic.
Now here you have
mood board, and I have yes, I've got sketch. These are not mine. These are references from that I took off the internet, and I think I've got a reference down the bottom. That's another way of presenting. For instance, if you want to do a pencil sketch, that's beautiful for soft lines, soft linear timber, concrete, something that's very quick or something that you're trying to work with. Mood boards is probably when you're ready to go, ready to present, and it's more or less completed. So you can put a picture of a style of a kitchen you're working in, but you're showing them the different textures or maybe the different chair, or, you know, just showing them how something can work in that presentation. And down the bottom I've got pastels, and they work amazing for, say, wall colors or splashbacks, or when you're showing them a tile against a wall color. So it's a softer presentation. And the girl down the bottom is one of my works as well.
Oh, good. Okay. So here you have Mosaic Sample tools. Yeah.
That's 6 or 5, but I was just experimenting
Mm-hmm.
just to show that I loved the tile, but when I put the tile against the tile and I built an actual area of a tile, I just saw it was busy. It's not what I wanted. It was just completely blown.
That's right. The scale of it is just it's not exactly for that kitchen. It's
not for the area.
Style. No.
So this is what I said. I was working on this design, and as I was working with the elements, and then I realized that some of the elements that I had in my head were actually not working with what I imagined in my mind, how I wanted this kitchen to feel. So I didn't end up using a lot of these, unfortunately, these images that I up the top.
Yes.
I used the black tile for the bottom, but I didn't use it's very busy and very Turkish. Maybe a couple of bits and pieces here and there I could live with. That wasn't what I was trying to put across.
Yes. So,
and yes, I did find, well, I found the Meili head, what's called the Robin Hood bit with the glass. The oven, I'm pretty sure it's very close to what it is, and the actual Technica bench stove, I think I had to change it a little bit to make it fit inside my design to look like that.
okay. So then you explained about the drawings and design to people. You said that you have benchtop manufacturer, yeah?
Yep. Benchtop manufacturer, or the person that actually creates the, because if you have a look at my bench, not benchtop, but more of my bench side, it's got an extreme curve on it. So
yes, yeah.
that curve, the actual main part of the curve is actually glass. So you need to speak to a glass manufacturer or even a perspex manufacturer or somebody that deals with the material that can bend into that shape and create you the door to fit in that corner. So bench top or side bench, this is what I was referring to, because I knew straight away that all those glass sections that I've got, which are curved with the glass in it, I need to get in touch with the manufacturer to find out if it's possible. If it is, what material I need to use to make it possible, and is it going to reflect the same lighting, same shading, and all that in the same way as I imagined it in glass. And apparently they say, yes, it is. You can do that.
So 10 types of drawing techniques. So you have AutoCAD, 3D, 5 mood board, design board, SketchUp, hand sketch and pastel, good. Models, yeah. So basically what you said before.
Yeah, what I said before.
Yeah, and then you show in it AutoCAD images, SketchUp, forehand sketching, which you did for your previous assessment.
Yeah, I did, and this AutoCAD drawing is my drawing of a French pimento.
Oh, really? Oh, beautiful.
So, like I said to you, and so is the SketchUp. These are my designs in SketchUp. So, like I said, I'm using as much as possible my own work in this course in my presentation. So,
yes,
the sample board materials is
very good.
Not mine. I think that's the only thing that I have used out of internet, and I actually like this board.
Yes.
Because not just that you get the colors, but you get the actual texture and the feel, and that I love that. I think that's something that I would like to do for my next presentation.
Now, sample boards, basically, when we use them in interior design, when we're actually working with the clients, now you don't need to, it's a bit of like when you do the real sample board like this, it's most of the time when you're working with real clients in real time.
Yeah. Okay, because these will be so time consuming getting to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why what we do, we're just using Excel spreadsheets where we put the images and where we put the links and prices on the samples so we want to use or we're planning to use.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I don't
yeah, so
okay.
This is a bit like a, yesterday approach.
Yes.
I mean, that's the way you should do it, but nobody does it, put it this way.
I love it though. I love it. It's just, it doesn't just look good, but it brings your feelings with the actual texture. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Normally, what you would do, you would collect some samples and you bring it to the client and you discuss it, and you will have so many of them like boxes. Yeah. The boards are good. Yeah, those boards are good, but they're mostly like, for presentation purposes. So put it this way, for commercial projects, you would probably do that for the big commercial projects when you're applying for a job.
Yep.
And when you place in your beats, with other interior designers who wants to, say, decorate the the hotel or whatever, you know.
Step up, yes, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be prepared, and you're working with all the materials there, but at the same time you still don't do that. You work with Excel and you bring the samples and discuss with the clients there.
Okay. Well, good to know. All right.
So 2 examples of materials technique used in drawing which require particular safety procedures. Very good.
Yep.
So 1 way to which minimize waste. Very good. And producing drawings for a client, what intellectual property issues, negotiations. Very good. Now, most interesting part. So sketches and progressive design. So talk to us how you went from AutoCAD to SketchUp.
Well, it's a very simple procedure because SketchUp, Revit, AutoCAD, they all work with each other. DWG works with all these software. So what I did, just to save myself regarding scale and things like that, because when you go into SketchUp from fresh, you have to set up a template page and you have to set up either the architectural, the surveying templates or whatnot. So if you actually go to AutoCAD and draw a simple outline of your kitchen in scale, when you bring that into SketchUp, it automatically recognizes AutoCAD drawing, and all you have to do is just confirm scale, and you are already where you want to be. So when you put in elements like 2.7 meter high ceiling, when you're extruding your walls up, it's doing it automatically towards what is already there. So it's the only reason I actually did go outside and draw the kitchen outline in AutoCAD. It just makes it a lot simpler to work in SketchUp and scale. Problem with SketchUp, a lot of the times everything's in feet and inches. It's an American package, so you need to constantly keep converting your units across. I have a template already that's all 1 to 100.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's set up. It's set up for importing DWG drawings from AutoCAD, and it puts it straight up at the point of your green, red, and blue X's. So it starts where the little girl sits there, the corner, and you start from there. So when you press on 1 point, 2 point perspectives and all that, it does it automatically for you. It's already sitting on the X points where you're getting the views from.
Very good.
Okay, stage 3 and 4, well, they're just obvious stuff, me mucking around
Mm-hmm.
and experimenting with color and shadow and lighting and color and my original image in my head that I wanted. And then, like I said, there's a few images that didn't include. That's the ones with those tiles that were too busy for the backsplashes. So I thought, oh my God, no way, I'm not using that. It's not what I wanted. Maybe on the bigger scale would be better, but when you put them together, they become too busy. So I looked at things that are less dominating in all their textures or in their lines, in their shapes. So because I don't even want nothing overpowering each other. I just want a comfortable, modern, contemporary space for everybody to just exist in space.
And the stage 5?
And that light, I had this image of this beautiful chandelier, this light coming down because the ceiling is 2.7. Like I said, in most cases at 2.7 ceilings, you have a bulkhead about 300 that comes down, and it actually mirrors the actual bench tops of your kitchen. And so I imagined this beautiful round lighting system. And then when I actually drew it all up, and then I looked at this lighting thing, and this thing was tiny. It was just awful. So I'm like, no, it's not working. It's not even picking up the curves or the actual radius of my curves. So I just knew it had to be bigger. It had to go bigger. It had to enlarge, as well as the section on the side of the kitchen that I had with the wine bottles on the side.
Yep.
That part as well looked too linear to me. It was just killing I just wanted to tone down the constant linear sections. So I wanted to bring some of these curves in, because curves mean softness. It means family. When you walk around this bench, I don't want nobody hitting their hip on the edge and things like
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I had to increase that lighting. So yeah, there comes my kitchen now finally.
And that's your final design. I just want to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically balancing colors, balancing curves, balancing lines, colors, textures, just balancing it all.
Mm-hmm.
It, maybe I look at it now, it looks maybe too contemporary, but at the end of the day, the materials,
Mm-hmm.
stainless steel, they work with the appliances. If not, if you don't like the stainless steel board on the front of that bench, change it into the color of the wall. If you don't like the color of those curves, their perspex, the
Mm-hmm.
new perspex section, change them in another color. So these elements, if you buy or rent, are easily replaceable, but still the kitchen remains what it is.
Mm-hmm. So we have some more images.
Just details. I was just getting that dishwasher space on the other side when when the kitchen was built was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Going into these obscure angles that you can't even get into.
To place it in there, yes.
Yeah, on the right hand side.
Mm. Yeah, SketchUp is very notorious for actually placing objects into the models. You
But I
really
hate,
need to, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, there's actually a dishwasher in there. It's actually Dishlex doubles
Mm-hmm.
dishwasher, which means if it's a big family, you use both drawers. If it's just a rental with two people, you use the top drawer, and that's it.
Yes, excellent. So isometric view. I really like what you've done with the window here and what you've done the place the wine racks. Yeah, the only one note would be maybe put them in a level with the window because nobody's going to climb so high to pick those
Yeah, you
bottoms.
know what happened? I actually put them to the bench, and the whole bench, like that. If you have a look at the original design, the wine racks went all the way down, and then I looked at it.
Yes.
The actual bench got eaten up by wine, and
Okay.
that's meant to be a servery, so you're supposed to have space to serve or put food there.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why you've done a curve there because
Yeah, and
no,
I've
yeah,
extended that out and lifted the wine
yeah,
racks up just to give that additional working space.
yes. Okay. Well, that was only like I was thinking, oh God, that's too high, even higher than the fridge. Who's going to climb there? Technically.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
was thinking more of a serving space. I was thinking more of a bench space. You know what women are like
Mm.
in the kitchen, they're just like because the actual wine racks ate that bench space and you couldn't see the reflection of the curve and you couldn't see the reflection of the bench top to reflect with the rest of the kitchen. The
Yeah.
actual wine rack sitting on top of it would just ate it up. It actually looked to me at that point, and I can show you what it looked like a sink in the bathroom, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what it looked like to me. So I lifted it up. I actually cut out 6 wine bottle sections from the bottom to allow space for serving food and stuff.
That's right. Okay.
And you know
Um,
what? Up the top, when nobody touches, you can put the $200 bottle of wine.
yes, you can. Exactly. That's a positive. Okay. I think I skipped it a little bit too fast. Okay, so that's the metric view. Okay, so 2 details, so beautiful, beautifully done model. I have to admit, well done on all the shading and colors, etc. Obviously, as you said, you can play with colors, so it's not the latest version. You can change it. You can make it any color you want. You can change any material. The structure is there. Structure is beautiful. I really like that ceiling.
Yeah, I said this is what I mean when I design. All right, it's that architect in me, but at the same time, that's the space. It's the whole space. It's not just the benches.
That's right. I really like what you approached as you said, the whole space instead of just going through the kitchen and just designing the cabinets.
Mm.
And what you designed on the ceiling as well is beautiful, and it repeats the curve of the kitchen itself. Um, So obviously everybody stays, you know, as you said, you can change this bench top to any other color or any other material you want,
Yes.
but the structure itself is really well done.
Yeah, it will be that friendly environment that everybody will enjoy. So
Yes, that's right.
I did, yeah, and I've just gone through assessment 1B, and I can see that, you know what, this is probably my assessment for assessment 3 for the next one. Except this time I can have the dining and the lounge in it. So I'm just gonna get crazier.
I can see the dishwasher in there.
Can you? Is there?
Yeah, here in that little sketch.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get a photo properly out of it because it was just kept showing me the ceiling.
That's right, it's very obscure. But what you could have done just a section.
Yeah, I should have actually. I haven't actually played with sections yet. I'll go to AutoCAD for that.
Yeah, it's very easy in the SketchUp. There is a tool for it to do the sections. Good job. Do you know what's missing in your assessment? Just a tiny little thing which is missing is the accessories.
Yes, I do need to know.
But the problem is, like, with accessories, it's definitely missing green in it. So
see, that's the pot plant that I actually got, and it took me like an hour to download because I'm working on a laptop.
Yes.
And I gave up waiting for it to load. It was 2 a.m, and I thought, you know what? I can't get this little pot plant. There wasn't just a pot plant. It was actually there was a couple of things that I found on SketchUp in the warehouse library. There was a tea set. It was gorgeous.
Yes.
It's all stainless steel. There was this pot plant that was it was actually an earthy color. It was brown, but the leafage was green, almost like a cactus, but not a cactus. Probably something similar to a yucca.
Yes.
Through just completed the whole picture with these tiny little yellow specks, and I'm going.
That's right. That's all it's needed, really. It's just needed tiny accent of the life objects, like a, you know, green ports or whatever. It just needs some life to it because it looks like a spaceship so far.
It looks like a display at home, yeah, one of those. Yeah, I know, exactly, and that's what I see it as too.
It's a little bit of life, but at the same time, it's an amazing model. You've done so well with this model. Yeah, so well done.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. So everybody can just watch that presentation on YouTube now and see how it should be done. But there are obviously a couple of things are missing, but it's normal how it all happens. You study, you learn, and you cover it all.
The only way to learn is to make a mistake, to be honest. Sometimes.
Exactly. Yes.
Age, I realize, I need to miss something out to learn it.
Yeah. So, do you have any other questions for the following assessments and the following?
Yes, I do. Just quickly.
Yeah.
I've gone through the floor plans, the elevations, the sections, the site plan. I can see the houses on my hill, and this thing just already got my head. I've already wrapped my head around this next assessment. Now, with the client's brief, I've read through it. I've outlined all the things they are good at, and I'll just quickly read it because I've got them marked down. We both are healthy, and neither of us have particular allergies. But I can't stand smell of paint, so I love all the colours of the rainbow, and my husband loves torquay. So this is an extremely important statement for me, and that's probably going to be my, this is what's going to base my whole design. Now, the lounge, kitchen, dining is where we spend most of our time. Obviously, don't have kids. They entertain a lot. The kitchen design they've got at the moment is horrid. I'm not sure what's going on in there. One of the garages kind of comes in, to be honest, and then I'm like up the stairs straight into the kitchen. So quickly, as you are my client, I need to know the budget. Can I alter the design?
Yes.
All right, I need the budget.
Well, we don't give you the budget.
Well, how am I supposed to know how much money I can spend on this thing?
You need to make a conclusion what the budget those people would have. Just reading the brief and looking in their occupation, where they live, look at the house itself, you would probably have an approximate idea how much they're going to spend. We don't want to really give you the budget, because the problem with it that you might feel restricted in a way, trying to fit into the budget. And that is not the point of the whole learning of this unit.
Okay. So if I want to change structural elements in there, I need to employ an architect, correct? Because we need to go back to building.
That's right. But you need to go back to the brief and think whether they talk about it. So the whole point of this unit is actually working around the clients and what you know about them. So, and organizing the meetings and basically working around them and not trying to make anything up, and try to meet their expectations as much, as close to the brief you received as possible.
All right, thanks for that. Well, okay, you explained about 7 questions I had, so all good. I know I need to go back and relax.
Yes, that's right. So if you can imagine, if you were working as a freelancer, this is all the information you've got. So every word counts. So you need to think about, okay, well, they have pets, whether, you know, would they like to change the structure of the house? Would they want to do, you know, any architectural elements? Probably not. Because it looks like they lie back people, you know, and they want to.
They probably need a cat climbing wall in their living room since they live with the pets.
Well, yeah, well, they probably, because their pets is the center of their, you know, life, and plus their friends and plus their hobbies and things like that. The whole point of this unit is actually trying to teach you how to feel your client and how to, you know,
I probably overfeel my client. I kind of go more.
Yes, well, the thing is, what you need to understand that in real life, you wouldn't suggest anything outrageous to your clients simply because you don't want to plant any new thoughts in their heads. So you need to work in that corridor, in that, you know, pathway they give you. And anywhere where you go left or right might, you know, create a confusion for them.
Sometimes it's confusion, sometimes it's actually opening them up to what they really want, and they just don't.
That's right, but if you don't have enough information, you cannot, you know, make something up. Yeah.
I won't infringe on what I have. Okay, so I'll work with the brief. That's all I need to know.
That's right. So just think about those people. Imagine what their lifestyle is. Imagine what their friends would be. Just try to make it more as realistic as possible.
I will try. Look, I've had all sorts of clients. I'm a mother of 4, working full time.
Brilliant. How old are your kids?
23, 22, 17 and 15.
Well, now you can relax.
And you know what? And I've got 2 chickens, I've got 3 guinea pigs, I've got a dog and a cat.
Are they all live with you?
Of course. My house is a party all the time, and I have to tell them every Thursday night to turn all their bloody music off and all their TVs and stuff off. I can't hear you.
That's brilliant.
It's not. It's hard work, to be honest.
Yes, it is. But you probably feel so.
I feel alive with them, to be honest. Yeah. I feel alive all the time.
Yes, yes, and they keep you young.
That too, you know, there's a blessing in everything. So
absolutely. Well, good job, and you do an amazing job with your study. I'm very impressed. Thanks. And probably your kids are impressed as well with everything you do.
Yeah, they actually are, because I show them your comments and I show them my work. And you know, there's many times I sit there debating, is this nice or is this bad? And I'll call them up. They'll come up and they'll have a look at my assignments. They'll have a look at my presentations, and they'll say, well, maybe you're too much on here, and maybe, you know, and they actually are my best and biggest critics.
And they would be, because they're honest with you. They have nothing to hide and they have nothing to gain. So kids are always like that. So excellent, Vesna. It was lovely to talk to you. Do you have any more other questions?
No, I just want an Easter break. I really need a break.
Yeah, well, there is an Easter break, so you've done beautifully with that subject, and you start in the next subject with the next group next week.
Okay.
and it will be on 28th. So you deserve the break. So take those days.
Because the email you sent me says to me that assignment one is, well, assessment one or part A is due on the 2nd of April, which is next Saturday.
Oh, you're already in that subject. You're probably already in the previous group.
Yeah, see, this is what happened even last time.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. You started on the 14th of March, so you started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were starting next week, but nevertheless.
No, I'm always with a group that there's no one around.
Oh no, there is Casey there. Casey with you. She's an amazing student. She's done pretty well. Yes. So you might find her on Mahara, or maybe on the Facebook as well. You can have a chat to her.
Okay.
Casey, yeah.
Casey, all right. Because I need to talk to somebody.
Absolutely, yeah. So you are on Facebook. Just throw the message on the Facebook and just ask, because there are few students who actually do in 1579. And they are the best student of the bunch, and they quite experienced. So just throw the message on the Facebook and talk to them. We have Lauren. She's amazing.
I know Lauren. I've heard her a few times. She's one above me.
That's right. We have another Lauren. She's amazing too. So we have Skype. She is great. She's doing that subject. She's she's going to finish it soon. We have Suanne. Suanne, she's halfway through. So we have Ashley as well. We have Jessica. So there are quite a few students, and they are amazing. They're strong students. Whoever's making to that subject, they are strong students. So yeah, talk to them on the Facebook. It's a good idea.
Oh well, thanks for the update for that. Oh, okay, that's good.
No worries. So have a lovely Easter. Enjoy it.
You too, Polina. You take a break as well.
Yeah, I'll try to with my little newborn.
I know. Enjoy it. Just shut the world out. Shut down the phones and internet. Just.
Yes, that's right. You have to.
Oh, God. I wish I was there, to be honest. I miss those days. I really miss those days.
When they're little, yeah, they love it.
When they're little and they grow up so fast, it just spins your head around how quickly they grow.
Yes, that's true. Okay, have a lovely Easter and enjoy it. Thank you for coming over, and I'll put this video onto the YouTube as well.
All right, thanks, Polina. I'll talk to you next week. Okay.
Yeah, bye.